So very high energy tonight, and I'm going to tell you now the high energy and quite possibly the laughter is going to stop here. Okay. By the way, I haven't at all got cue words written on my hand. Just for a tall bearded guy, I've got quite attractive hands, so occasionally if I look at them, just admiring them. I'm on second tonight. Been on first the last 2 gigs I've done. That's a tough spot really, tough slot, because you're essentially the warm-up act. And there was definitely something wrong with the heating in the last 2 venues, because the audience was pretty cold by the end of my set. Oh, it's going to get worse. I'm not a massive fan of ornithology, I've got to be honest with you, but I do like the occasional strange bird. I like big ducks, and I cannot lie. Megan stammers. Poor girl. Must be really tough having a speech impediment at her age. She's got enough to worry about with that Nancy teacher. Any gay or bisexual people in tonight? No? Well, here's 2 little jokes. What's a gay man's favoured swimming stroke? Butt stroke. What do bisexual people drink? Bibina. I did warn you that after may have to stop here. It's time to bring out the power stance. Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring it down a bit now, because on my way here tonight on the train, I heard such a terrible, terrible, sad tale that for me really summed up the plight we're all in this global recession. Sitting opposite a father and his 2 young children. And he turned to them and he said, "Kids, there's this thing called the economy. Have you heard of that?" And they said, "Yes, Daddy." And he said, "Well, it's not very well at the moment, it's poorly. And one of the symptoms of that is no one has much money. Do you understand, kids?" And they kind of looked up at him, slight look of wonder, and he said, "Yes, Daddy, I think so." And he said, "You know how Mummy and Daddy promised we were going to take you to Disney World this year?" And for a second their faces lit up, and they said, "Yes, Daddy, yes, Daddy." And he said, "Kids, I've got some bad news. I can't take you to Disney World this year because we don't have much money." And I was kind of like, "Oh, this is horrible, you know, wish I didn't have to witness this." But then he said to them, "Kids, I still want to give you a day to remember this year. I'm going to take you, instead of Disney World, to Cartridge World." Oh, yeah. And he said, "Kids, in those 2 hours there, I'm going to let you get 2 coloured inks each." And I just thought, what a man, you know, what a man. That is a nice hand, though, you have to admit. There's a lot of interracial cuckold porn out there at the moment. I'm determined to make this joke work. I've had to take out about 3 minutes from this joke, so at the punchline I want at least 2 laughs, then I'll consider that a success. Anyway, does anyone know what cuckold porn is? No? How can I play this? Someone's got to know what it is. Yes, I knew that man would. Well, the classic kind of cuckold porn. Usually it's American, husband and wife, and it's usually the husband's fancy is to watch his wife and film shag a black guy, a tall, powerful, muscular black guy, much like myself. Anyway, and it kind of got me thinking, it kind of shows how times have changed really in America, because obviously it had a real checkered history with race relations. You had slavery, and then you had the whole civil rights movement in the 1960s and the subjugation of black people. And it kind of makes me think, when Martin Luther King made that famous speech where he announced, "I have a dream," I don't think interracial cuckold porn was exactly what he was dreaming about. Unless of course he's having a wet dream. Oh God, one day that's going to work. Not tonight though, clearly. But I always thought, if you were the guy that had been invited into that scenario with a husband and wife, and you just shagged the guy's wife while he's watched and filmed, how best could you probably thank him? I think if it was me, I would adapt a song from Dirty Dancing. Now I've had some time with your wife, and I've never felt this way before. She's a whore, it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Thank you. What husband wouldn't like that? Okay, I'm going to end, as it's topical, on a personal tale, but it's relevant. I can't say I was particularly surprised to find out the creepy weirdo Jimmy Savile was a paedophile, but it brought back a really kind of painful memory for me, really. Because when I was a young boy, I was invited up to appear on one of his many programmes, and I went up to the BBC studios, never actually got to appear on the show, because I seemed to spend all my time in his dressing room. Now, I don't know if I was kind of overawed and excited to meet him, or whether it was all the whiskey that he plied me with, but I passed out. And I've got this very, very vivid memory of kind of coming to, and he was kind of crouched over me, and I think he was just trying to check whether I was conscious, because he was saying to me, how many fingers have I got up? And I remember looking up and saying, I think it's 3, Jimmy. Which was quite a good guess, because I was 9 years old, I'd never had fingers in my arse before. Someone's gapped to a stumble joke, didn't they? Anyway, well that's it from me, you'll be pleased to hear. Thank you, you've been very lovely. Almost laughed at the cuckold joke, but one day. Okay. Cheers, thanks a lot for that. That was lovely, thank you.